One Piece Chapter 1074 shows many interesting things. In the previous chapter, fans were shocked when one of the Gorosei came to Egghead Island with Kizaru. And in this latest chapter, we take a look at Kuma's past as well as interesting facts about Vivi. Without further ado, here's a discussion of One Piece Chapter 1074. The chapter starts with the CP0 battle moment with the Pacifista. However, the Pacifista that was presented in the battle against CP0 was different than what we know. In the previous chapter, we saw that the Pacifista that was deployed by the Navy was a prototype. This early model of Pacifista was deployed against the worst generation in Sabati, and during the final battle of Marineford. Meanwhile, during the battle with CP0 on Egghead Island, we saw this model, the Mark III. It is the most powerful model of Pacifista. They have the capacity of shield bubble which can withstand any attack. It was Sentomaru who sent the Pacifista out, hoping that the Straw Hats and Vegapunk would be able to leave the island. Stussy finally unveils her real identity as part of Vegapunk. She and the rest of the Straw Hats decided to find Bonnie and Vegapunk. The research done by Luffy and Chopper seems to be fruitless, which makes them finally decide to split up. Sometimes ridiculous things happen. Zoro decided to join the search for those two, where Sanji, Chopper, and Robin barred Zoro from joining. They didn't want Zoro to be lost as well. At last, Zoro stayed in the laboratory with Shaka and Luffy. They seemed to watch over Rob Lucci and Kaku as they were still unconscious. Bonnie herself is in the realm of Kuma's memories. Looks like she's in a meadow with a little Kuma crying. Bonnie tried to communicate, but was unable to. Then it seems that somebody tortured Kuma and asked him to go back to a certain place. Kuma himself said no because he was not comfortable there. Kuma even said his life was at risk when he was there. We still don't know what Kuma was getting at, and who was the party that tortured Kuma and wanted Kuma back. However, it is possible that the world government wants Kuma because we saw the silhouette of a celestial dragon. Bonnie herself was then thrown out of there, though she later attempted to find out what had happened. What is still interesting that appears in this chapter is the possibility of a traitor on the side of Vegapunk. This speculation occurred after examining existing clues, where something weird had happened. In Chapter 1071, we look at how the Frontier Dome security sensor suddenly shuts down. And in Chapter 1074, we see an explosion as well. Who subsequently became the betrayer is still a mystery. And I watch out for Shaka and Pythagoras. Their movements are considered strange and suspect. After a long absence, we finally find out about Vivi's whereabouts. At the end of Chapter 1074, Vivi was revealed to be hiding with Wapol and Morgans. They're on the Morgan ship. Vivi looked fine, and in Wapol's words, they were deliberately hiding behind the pursuit of the world government. What happened before is never revealed. However, Morgans has said that previously Vivi had cried in front of Morgans. Maybe Vivi was trying to hide from the world government after learning or even seeing how they murdered her father, Nefertari Cobra. Interesting, of course, to see what happens. In addition, Morgans tries to reverse the facts. In the headline, Morgans writes that Luffy kidnapped Vegapunk, even though he knew the world government had a grudge against Vegapunk. According to Morgans, he doesn't care whether this is a fact or not because news is entertainment. According to the One Piece 1074, we finally know that Kuma had a bad past. What has made him the target of the world government, we still have to wait. We finally see what happens to Vivi and how the information tries to be distorted by Morgans. We will wait to find out what will happen in the next chapter.